I just wondered if I could have a quick word about the food.
I just love it when people complain.
Well, in that case, it's very gritty. Oh. And as for the bread, need I say more?
Anybody else would be dead.
Yeah.
Paddington is the rare talking bear from darkest Peru. Found his way to London, and everybody was thinking, yo, dark, Peruish, savage ass. You're very polite for being from a very dark and dangerous place. Went over to London, was so polite, got adopted by a well-to-do British family, and they said, you know what? He can stay. Those black people down the street got to go, but this bear, he can stay, and really, I can understand because Paddington is, it's hard to not like Paddington. And in this new movie that we have here, Paddington, simply called Paddington 2, it's terrible to see what happens to him because in this one, he just wants to get, oh my God, in this one, he just wants to get a nice gift for his Aunt Lucy, who has never seen London before. And he says that she raised me so nicely that I want to do something really good for her. And I ain't got no money fly ass over here, but I can get her a book with pictures of London in there.
She's a bear. She ain't gonna know the difference.
Yeah, she ain't gonna know the difference.
She old.
Yeah, she old. That's why it's as good as a picture book. She can just look through there. It's as good as the real thing, right? Except the book costs $1,000. It's an antique. So he's got to go out there and try to raise the money. In the meantime, the books get stolen, and he sees the guy that does it but can't catch him. But the police caught him.
Because he's brown.
I told you, man. Can't catch a break. And they give him the sentence that he just stole a book. Mm-hmm. And they threw that book right at his ass.
That was good.
Thank you. 10 years. Oh, that little bear, he can't do no hard time like that. What's going to happen to poor Paddington? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for Paddington 2. And we'll come back and let you know whether he survived his time or not.
I think you're in great shape for a man your age, Mr. Brown.
Ah, thank you, Paddington. Hang on, how old do you think I am?
Oh, about 80?
Fuck you. Get out my house. Yeah, I didn't want your ass in the first place.
Remember that fake polite shit? I see that shade.
Yeah, backhanded shit. Yeah, yes, sir. You look good, old motherfucker. Yeah, I beg your pardon. You know something? Here's the thing about Paddington. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and just tell you how I feel about this. I'm not going to even try to hide anything. I'm not going to sit back and try to play games with you because I like Paddington. No, not just the movie. I like Paddington the bear. He is just so... I challenge anybody not to go out and hang out with this bear and not like him by the end of the night, not want to make him your best friend, make him part of your crew.
You got to be a real asshole to not like Paddington.
You really do. And that's who the people are in the movie who don't like him, are the assholes. And I'm talking about just downright dirty thieves. And part of the reason you like Paddington is because, in these movies, I have to say that there's a good lesson to be learned from these, first of all. All you people out there making family films and all of you out there making sequels, pay attention to what this bear is doing. This is a good lesson in not the story you tell, but how you tell it. Because as far as being a mediocre to bad family film, all the elements are there for that to be that thing. Because when you look at it, it has all the things that you see in a sequel, especially in a family film, CG animated family film. You got slapstick comedy. You have a CG talking bear that they could just milk for laughs.
A contrived plot.
A contrived plot in silly-ass villains. Now, they had those in the first movie. And somehow it worked.
That creature means a great deal to me.
Is he endangered?
He is now.
The furry menace is home alone.
I'm going to stuff you, bear.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, see, who could be so cruel as to want to do that to old Paddington? I mean, kill his ass and stuff him.
And just say she's gonna do it too.
And put his ass on display.
Yeah. Tell him and dare him to do something about it.
To remind everybody, yeah, I murdered this motherfucker right here.
Come look at this animal I killed. The last of his kind.
The rare talking bear. Don't want to keep that alive. No, I want to kill his ass so he won't talk no more.
I just wanted him to shut the fuck up.
And you know something? The reason why that I believe the first one worked, and despite all those things that we were talking about, is because in the first one, these are like superhero movies. It was an origin story.
Right. Sure.
It showed where Paddington came from. It showed how he got to be with the Browns, the family that we see that he's living with. I mean, they even explain why he talks.
And why he got the hat and the jacket as well.
Even his gear.
Yeah.
You know, show,
flexing on
show where he got his boo-boo from.
It's a fish out of water story, but it's also such a commentary on the polite rudeness of British society.
They treated him like a bum. Don't look at him. That bitch might be selling something.
Probably selling something.
It's like, wow, man. It's a talking bear. If he's selling something, you want that shit.
Yes.
So you look at a sequel, because that's what y'all are saying. Like, all right, that first one worked, but we in sequel territory now. And we know in sequels, people don't give a damn. They're like, man, we set everything up, told you what you need to know. Now we need to get that money.
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah, move it along. Just get them something to do. I don't care.
Let's pour out this cute little fucker.
Yeah.
Get me a movie by January. I don't care what you got.
Yeah, and the premise here is what you would expect to see from a lazy sequel. A burglar who's a master of disguise who frames Paddington. Paddington goes to jail for a crime that he didn't commit. From that point on, Paddington is raped, put in a gang, and then he kills somebody.
It's essentially Oz.
Yeah, it's Oz with a bear. Hilarity ensues.
Swastika in his fur now.
Oh no, he's brown. The Aryan Brotherhood ain't gonna have him.
Oh, okay. He joined the Latin Kings.
Yeah, you know. When I watched the trailer for this, I didn't even play it because I was like, man, this just looks like a forced sequel. There's nothing that we need to say about that. And I didn't even want to give the movie the attention because I felt almost offended by it. I was like, man, I like the movie so much, I'm just kind of heartbroken that they're doing this to this poor little bear. And like I was saying, that's what it seemed like. They were just trying to get these characters something to do so the franchise could keep going. Now, there were some things that were happening in there that I thought, all right, you know something? You're hitting some marks right here. And even then, I just wasn't ready to give it up to this bear right here.
You weren't?
I was not, because when things were going along kind of smooth, I was like, all right, well, I ain't saying anything yet. It's still early, but we getting there. And then that scene from the barbershop popped up. This bear hopping around, doing all this slapstick, assaulting people with a razor, tearing up this barbershop. I was like, now this is where I was talking about. We're talking about a movie where this bear just gonna be going through this whole movie just tearing up shit. But then as I looked at that, I said to myself, but yet this is really well choreographed.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff in here is really well choreographed.
I mean, it's a lot of those kind of gags you used to see in old cartoons or Warner Brothers cartoons or even silent movies, but by the best of them, Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd. And it's the way they handle all this. There's just no cynicism in it.
When I looked at the whole scene, I said, man, the way it ended, the way it had a punchline, the way it was just as intricate as it was, and like I said, just choreographed, I was like, man, planning went into this. There was a lot of imagination that was put into something like this, where in any other movie, Bear just would have just tore up the shit. And the barber would have come in and be like, Paddington! And he's like, hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we see this kind of thing all the time, but usually it's some grown-ass man like Will Ferrell doing it.
Or Kenny.
No, he's right, Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell will be that. That Bear got better timing than Will Ferrell has ever had in any of his recent movies.
And they yell a lot.
And
They be screaming and yelling. Paddington's quiet and trying to be chill throughout this whole thing.
Oh, he should. Even when he's like, no, he's fucking up. He's like, wait a minute, hold on,
Oh, God.
Oh, dear.
I love it. You know, it's something where, you know, he's just he's keeping his temperament down, not yelling, not screaming a lot, not doing, a lot of the wackiness that would normally come with this physical humor slapstick territory.
Yeah, literally the meanest thing he does is just...
Stare. His Care Bear stare.
Yeah. Also, they don't feel the need to modernize Paddington.
No.
At all. You know,
It's timeless.
It feels like it's timeless. It's not like those other, like another group of talking animals, those fucking chipmunks. Alvin wearing that hoodie, like looking like he about to jump somebody. Right? I wish he would do some shit to me. I'll beat your ass.
Coleman, they're hip and happening right now.
Trying to look all hard and shit. I wish you would step
The
to me, bitch.
youths love them. Come on.
They are so lit.
This shit right here, hoodies and breakdancing clothes and
Brother, how old is that?
He got them Kumo D
and
sunglasses.
got that Kumo D hat.
Triggered by the
Yeah, Martin's got a point. You've been holding on to this for a
I'm so
while.
mad at this with that fucking. You ain't hard.
That's the original.
Take that shit off. No, I don't give a damn.
That's the original Alvin and the Chipmunks poster. That thing's been out for like 7 years.
And you know what? It's had 2 other sequels where they trying to act just as urban as they were in the first one. Fuck these goddamn rats.
Squeakles.
Don't you?
I remember you giving the road chip a full price, man.
I mean, that video is out there.
It's out there.
Yeah, proof.
It's on the record.
I
Evidence.
ain't going down this road with y'all.
No, let's go down
Doing
it.
this. Ain't doing
Let's get souvenirs.
Let's go down this road chip.
You and Alvin ain't gonna do this shit to me. Your boy Paddington got a hoodie too. But he don't ever put that on and pull out a gold chain with a big P at the end of it. Don't get on no turntables and start scratching and mixing.
That wouldn't be proper.
No, it would not be the British gentlemanly way. No. Because Paddington got some fucking respect.
He does. He's all about respect. Maybe in the third one, he'll hang out with the chavs and start doing all that.
You put on like the Adidas tracksuit.
Oi! Give me the marmalade, oi!
What a Chelsea game, boy!
Paddington, what happened to you?
Fuck off! Fuck off, mate. Give me fags. Paddington, no.
Lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels of Paddington.
You know, whether they go out and make a lot of money or not, they chose to go the route of being respectful to this property. This property originally goes back to 1958 with the publication of A Bear Called Paddington by Michael Bond. It's gone through many illustrators. As you can see, it doesn't even have the coat right there.
Damn, it's like a hobo right there.
I know. Shit like a murderous hobo.
Like a witch. Why is he have a woman that hat?
Like, yeah, like that's an axe and there's blood on the floor. You know, but this is 1958 when this came out. And the movie tries to capture as much of that period, the innocent part of that period as they can, to the point where this is even doing things that we normally scoff at, and it gets by. For one, you can see the neighborhood here. Like the neighborhood is, they have that community where everybody's friendly. They got the classic architecture, except for a couple of assholes. All the neighbors speak to each other, except here. The neighbors are more diverse now. You got a little more brown in there,
Brown, black.
yeah. And, it's they still manage to keep it in a classic feeling atmosphere. Also, when you look at it, there's the tech that's in here. There is tech. But it doesn't go past the early 90s, it feels like.
Well, no, that was the one thing. It doesn't really feel like it. Outside of him having Sonicare brushes, everything else just felt like, all right, this is just in the 90s or the late 80s. So yeah.
Yeah, or beyond that. It doesn't go or more be back that way. It doesn't try to put in anything more modern than that. And that's a good choice because the idea to like put in maybe like I think the most advanced they get is a what do you call those things? Honestly, that's all I only remember them. Answering machine. I don't think it goes past an answering machine in there, and it still gives it a feeling of timelessness when it's not in our era.
Right.
The other thing with this is that if there is anything modern, like right now, they are quick to ridicule it. There's a kid in here who dresses like some like electronic music raver or something, and they get on his ass quick.
He dresses like Kanye from his glow in the dark period.
Yeah, he does.
Exactly like that.
There's some shtick about yoga in here too that they take the piss out of.
Yeah. Yo, look at him turning British over here. Taking the piss. Another thing is that it's Paddington, as we said. Paddington, it's almost like the central character who you choose not to change, because Paddington is the reason why you can't modernize Paddington is because Paddington was never edgy. Right. Now, I'll give you the Chipmunks. The Chipmunks, they were always pop culture, even in the original. They're always singing pop songs. I can understand making that edgy.
Even originally, at least Alvin was kind of a dick.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. But not Paddington. Paddington, he's not edgy. Paddington is just sweet. Paddington is just cool. No matter how much shit you talk to Paddington gonna be cool. He like, you ain't gonna make me mad. Paddington is so cool and so nice. Paddington shouldn't even be alive. He should be dead.
Yeah, man.
Paddington should walk in the wrong neighborhood and say the wrong thing. Because that's the thing about Paddington. Paddington always says the wrong thing. And somehow luck just managed to be like, God damn, let me say this bear again. Comes in every time.
Either that or he says the right thing that makes somebody, man, I was gonna kill you, but now you say that. Come on.
Oh, no. Paddington is almost dead, and for some reason, he just lucks out. Paddington is in jail. Paddington should be dead by now. Paddington, in fact, when Paddington went to jail, he sat up there, and even Brendan Gleeson, like, I'm about to choke the fuck out this bitch right now.
I love that scene.
I love that scene. Brandon Gleeson, big old Brandon Gleeson. Paddington comes in there, and they, in the jail people, his inmate, they don't like him at first. They set him up like, hey, you know what? You so nice. Try that shit over that man over there. Go talk to him. Tell him how much you don't like the food.
I just wondered if I could have a quick word about the food.
I just love it when people complain.
Well, in that case, it's very gritty. And as for the bread, need I say more?
Anybody else would be dead.
Yeah.
For some reason, Paddington got karma bucks that he's always ready to cash in. And I do love that scene right there, because from that point on, where it goes to, again, talking about how this movie doesn't tread any new territory, you can predict where it's going. But the creative levels that they take it, you don't see.
Right.
And the only thing about Paddington that I still can't warm up to are those eyes, man. Those eyes still scare me, because the eyes are so realistic. I'm not saying it brings the movie down, but Paddington is so nice. But I look at those eyes, and they freak me out. And they freak other people out too. Paddington goes through the whole movie talking about, my Aunt Lucy said this, and my Aunt Lucy said, somebody says, man, fuck your Aunt Lucy, and you too.
Bitch,
and
what?
Paddington turns around and like, what the fuck you say? Yeah, somebody like them eyes. They're like, look, man, I'm just playing.
Yeah, even like in the audience, you're like, my bad, I'm sorry. Did I offend you?
Paddington got them eyes, man. I ain't gonna tell you how he handled it, but he was cool. I really, really love this. Before we get into the performances, like Martin wants to talk about, just want to get out the way the art direction in the film. The reason why these things in the movie, the predictability of it works is, like I said, it's not how you tell. It's not the story you tell. It's how you tell it. And they do it here with a lot of creativity and imagination. There are parts of the movie where they're doing flashbacks, and it's told in a illustrated book style, black and white. Looks like something like pencil sketches. The part I love the most is when Paddington is talking about getting a pop-up book.
Yeah, man.
And he's daydreaming about his Aunt Lucy coming, and the whole thing, his daydream is told in the whole pop-up motif. It's an incredible scene.
Yeah, and it feels like one continuous shot the whole time.
And it is one, it's one continuous shot. And you're just looking at this, and you're like, I know the answer's computers, but still, how did they do that?
Yeah, witchcraft.
Yeah, man. This is amazing the way that they choose to go in and tell this story. I mean, the music pulls back, and they have these really heartfelt scenes with a lot of visual imagination going on.
Well, one thing, to go along with the art direction is this is one of the few movies where London isn't just gray the whole time. Like the street they live on is all pastel and brightly lit, and everybody's wearing nice colors. It just feels like they put their heart and love into this movie, and it shows on the film.
No, it does. And the part where it does get gray is another stylistic choice that they have there. Everybody in the movie, everyone is having fun. Even the people who are just side characters, the kids, they're good.
Yeah.
You hardly see them though, but they're good. The person that really made me laugh is Hugh Bonneville, man. That guy, he is great at playing. He has a good balance of being kind of the gruff dad,
Sure,
but still being soft-hearted about things. I mean, he, everywhere he looks, people calling him old. He's getting passed over for promotions. I mean, the kids are tearing up the house. Paddington keeps fucking with him, and he just manages to say a couple of words and laugh it off.
Yeah.
Now he wasn't that way in the first.
He's just beat down. Life in that bear just got his ass down. But the performer, Hugh Bonneville's an actor. He plays Mr. Brown, Henry Brown. His comic timing is good. You know, I mean, and it's that kind of like low key comedy that he's doing. Just a tad bit above the straight guy.
Yeah, because he could the whole time be like, "Oh, Paddington."
Yeah.
And he toned it down from there.
Yeah, he's just like, oh fuck it, I'm just tired.
So sleepy.
No one listens to me anyway.
But if you want to talk about great performances, this is Paddington's movie Untitled. But Hugh Grant, this is his show.
Yeah.
This is his split, basically.
Yeah.
It is.
It is. They never said, but he's almost like a schizophrenic, egotistical actor who just does.
He's such a cartoon stereotype of what everybody thinks of an actor, especially a stage actor.
British stage actor.
He's just a cheese-eating, shitty actor, man.
There's a point where they reveal why he doesn't work well with others, and it cracked me up. I don't even want to spoil it.
And it's just so funny, man, because he is that guy. He has this huge ego. But the thing is, people don't hate him because he's still charming. He's a has-been. He's a dickhead, but people still laugh at his jokes. He's still got it. You look at it, it's like, man, the only thing about this is that he's his own worst enemy.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's cool that like you said, that Hugh Grant has embraced his age now.
Yeah.
Like they even show pictures of him as a younger Hugh Grant, and he's just laughing that off, man. He's really having fun. Look at him as Leslie Nielsen almost. He's just having fun being older and being able to let go.
Prison is no laughing matter, and I should know. I spent 3 years in Les Miserables.
People even the trash man laughing.
Cracking jokes in a courtroom, in a trial,
and they love it.
And he's just lapping it up too, those applause.
Yeah.
Did you see him on the street that night?
Oh, handsome devil, isn't he? Dazzling eyes.
I related, man. That's why I can never commit a crime, man. I ain't killed nobody. The killer was pretty handsome. Oh, that was me, man. Yeah, that was all me. No, man, he does that throughout the whole movie. And what makes it fun is that, just like Paddington, nobody stops to call him on his bullshit. Right. Everybody just goes along with it, man. When I'm saying that it's a great performance, it's not a great performance for a movie of this type. It is a great performance.
Well, plus, I don't know if he's rewriting it or ad-libbing, but just the choice of dialogue, just to every single word he used. Mm-hmm. It's like somebody took a thesaurus and went, all right, how can we replace this with the biggest word possible? Yeah. The most syllables you can get in there. And the way he delivered everything. He was Snagglepuss.
Yeah. Dude, that'd be awesome.
He was.
Hugh Grant as Snagglepuss. Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
No, because he would make up crazy things to say too. He came out to the audience and said, I am tickled the darkest shade of shrimp. And I'm like, that sounds nasty as hell, man. What the hell is that? Are you hungry? And people just like, yes! Yes! And he does like a Hanna-Barbera character wearing that ascot.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, he has to go back home because, I forgot my cravat.
Go get caught going back for this shit.
Man, this is the dude that Scooby-Doo and the gang pulled the mask off of. Yeah. And it's him. And I could have got away with it too for you fucking kids.
And I love the relationship between him and Mrs. Bird. She's like, this dude he is terrible.
She's the one person who sees through his shit.
Yeah, like Mrs. Bird is the one that's like, I don't know why y'all don't see this dude as a scumbag.
She hates him.
Yeah. He does his dog food commercials.
No, and everybody's like, lighten up, you old bag.
But yeah, man, like with Hugh Grant, like there's moments in here where this does things where you're right. It could have done that easy to just take this avenue and we'll go down. There's a sequel, whatever we do, it will do. But there's like a Family Guy cutaway where they show him doing one of his commercials, and that moment was funny. It's like, wow, they did this really well.
Yeah, man. And the funny thing about it is they talk about this dude doing dog food commercials, and when you see it, it's funnier than that shit is funnier than you ever thought. See if I can find a picture there, because they showed him in here too.
There.
They talking about, oh, he's doing dog food commercials. You thinking like, oh, he's with a dog. No, he is the goddamn dog.
The meaning shit imaginable.
They making him eat dog food.
Well, it's when they show that, it made me feel sorry for him. I was like, okay, I kind of understand where you're coming from.
Like, there's nobody in this movie you really hate. Like, you understand his pain. He does some terrible stuff, but you understand it.
No, man, I could not stop loving this guy. He was, I mean, that for me, this should be called Paddington and Hugh. You know, it's amazing, man. And like Martin said, they make fun of British mannerisms in front of British people. There's one point here where they had to be making fun of British people because they asked somebody, would you like some more tea? So they're like, I heard you laughing at that. You pull that Orson Welles shit. Now, as much as I'm praising this movie, I will say that there's a small negative in there for me. We're talking about how much it doesn't feel like your average family film. There's so much that's going on here where they paid attention to what they're doing. They were trying to tell a real story. They're not selling you a pop song. They're not selling you a character or a property. They are making a real movie. They're telling a real story, no matter how contrived that premise is. And it's very contrived. And for a movie like this to be able to take that and make it feel really good, new, fresh, and it does with the visuals that they do. That's amazing. That's why I was a little disappointed with the climax. Because the climax, it starts right before it's about to get out, and it's a good thing they did when they did, because that's when it starts to sort of fall apart.
Gets a little sloppy.
The climax, it turns into an action family film like you see with a lot of movies. It's no different from what you see out there. The jokes get lamer, the writing gets lamer, and the action that you see is predictable and nothing new. And it's a shame too. It really is, because this is a movie that I absolutely love. I do, and like I said, I really, man, my friendship with you is going to be judged on Paddington because everybody loves Paddington. If you don't like Paddington, then there's something going on with you.
You're Doctor Who.
You're hiding something. You've done something wrong, and I don't want to be around you.
You're Doctor Who.
Basically.
Because I'm even looking at Rotten Tomatoes now. One asshole's going to come up and say that this is not a good movie. I've seen this all before, but everybody right now is loving Paddington. This is getting 100% right now. For a January movie, this is the one that, like I said, at some point, good movies are going to start creeping in all around. And apparently this is one of them. The only thing that's bad about this being a January movie is, like you said, January is the month where people just don't pay attention. And this ain't being marketed that well.
Yeah, it's the dumping ground. I know it's doing really well overseas. So I want to say it came out in November over there.
Yeah. So that's right.
Yeah, it made
that makes it even not really quite a January release.
You're right.
Yeah, because I think so far it's already made like 135 million worldwide. So, I mean, this week it's just now opening here. So I'm pretty sure it's going to do well, especially with all the trash we have coming out around it.
Look, those things that we mentioned, that you, especially what you brought up, Martin, I can't overlook. So I can't give this the better than sex that I want to. But it's just, hey man, it's some things are just absolutely glaring right there. Yeah. And I can't go that far, but it's damn near close to it. I was looking at the trailer today, and I was looking at it with my wife, and this is the one that made her get movie pass, so we can go see this
Really?
again. Yeah, I want to see this again. You said I got some good chuckles, and I laughed out loud at some parts. And yeah, and that's the thing about it. One of my biggest praises for giving this a huge full price is that it's not just a movie that adults can go see with their kids and have fun. No, adults were laughing more than some of the kids, and I think there's more for you there, actually.
While the plot doesn't really do that much that's surprising, a lot of the jokes and a lot of the shots and a lot of the visuals are. There's even just some quick visual gags that I would never expect to see in a movie like this, and they just made me laugh or smile. As for criticisms, I agree with some of the stuff at the end feels a little shoehorned in. They do set it up, but because those characters didn't play that big of a role, it's kind of like, oh, okay. And that could have had a better payoff if they were featured a little bit more prominently. And the only other negative aspect is the crazy looks I get when I tell people at work, yo, this is one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. They're like, a movie about a cartoon talking bear?
It really
you
is.
like this shit? It's like, yeah, I really do. And
He must kill everybody.
Yeah.
This is the day, y'all. We got to get out of here.
Never tell anyone about this. Especially coming after fucking Insidious, The Last Key.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Man, I was flirting with doing this. I'm doing it. I'm giving this a better than sex.
Wow. All right.
I fucking love this movie.
Okay. I would not stop you, man.
Every actor in here feels like they wanted to be here. It felt like they grew up with Paddington, so that we have to do this property right. We have to make sure we nail these lines. We have to make sure this comes out great because we want this to go on and be a great thing in honor of Paddington. And the author of the books just died last year. So they're like, all right, we got to really, do this in his honor and make sure it all comes out great. So yeah, this is a fantastic film. This is a solid full price.
Yeah, Mr. Thomas.
It's funny because when the way they were advertising this, they say from the producers of Harry Potter, and I always say when a movie its big banner is from the producers of, I go, oh no, that means they got nothing.
Yeah.
But it seems that maybe that did matter this time because it's that kind of attention to detail and integrity to the film. That makes it come through. This and Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah.
Like, these are actually really good. Some of the best movies you'll go see. And everybody's like,
both sequels.
For real?
Yeah.
I know. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I never flirted with giving it better than sex, but it is a full price.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
I mean, especially if you got kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the Godfather Part 2 of cartoon bear movies, man.
Close.